Do you ever feel like the market or your circumstances are working against you? You might be dealing with the biggest barrier in trading, the victim mindset. In today's episode, I will be sharing how this deep rooted subconscious pattern keeps you from taking your trading to the next level and how you can break from it. Are you ready? You are listening to the Confidence in Trading podcast. I am your host, Agnieszka Wood, a trading mindset coach and a seasoned day trader with over a decade of experience. If you are new to my show, don't forget to subscribe so you can come back for the next episode. In this podcast, we explore the fascinating world of psychology and the human element of trading. We take a deep dive into different perspectives to inspire you and help you navigate the emotional ups and downs of trading with self-compassion and confidence. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, this podcast is your trusted companion providing support on your trading journey. Get ready to boost your confidence and unlock the secrets to mastering your mindset for success. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like the market or even just life is working against you? Like no matter what you do, something always seems to be standing in your way. If you have felt this way, you might be dealing with a hidden barrier, and that is something that's quietly holding you back without you even realizing it. In today's episode, we are going to talk about overcoming that blind spot, the subconscious victim mindset that can keep you stuck and stop you from reaching your full potential in trading and in life. When we get stuck in the victim role, we start to believe that life or the market or everything around us is happening to us. We feel powerless, like we have no control over the situation. It's that feeling of being stuck, like you're just at the mercy of everything happening around you. And when you are in that mindset, it's so easy to feel like there is no way out. And I personally know this feeling all too well. Growing up, I was expected to be the responsible one. I had to be the wise, dependable one, always trying to avoid causing trouble for my parents. But on top of that, I also was mistreated in various ways, and I carried a lot of shame and guilt with me. That weight stayed with me into adulthood, and it took a long time for me to even realize how it was affecting me. Even though I carried all this responsibility, I never asked for help. There was part of me that wasn't just saying, oh, it's okay, I'll do it myself. I don't need any help. It was more like, I'll do it myself and then I will feel sorry for myself because I have to do it all alone. I got stuck in that loop, feeling like I had no choice but to carry everything on my shoulders. And then using that feeling as a way to reinforce that I was the victim in the situation. If you have ever felt like that, and you might want to take a moment and really reflect on it, like you are doing everything on your own and blaming everything around you for your struggles, then trust me, you are not alone. And this pattern is powerful and sneaky, and it keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-pity and isolation, even though the solution is right there in front of you. When we talk about the victim role, it's really rooted in early experiences, especially those where we might have been overburdened with responsibilities too early or mistreated in some way. Psychologically, this creates a sense of powerlessness. When we feel like we have no control over what happens, we start thinking, things are happening to me, not for me. It's that sense of helplessness that gets us stuck in the victim mindset, where we start blaming everything around us, whether it's the market, other people, or even our past experiences for why things aren't going the way we want. Why are we the way we are? And because the way we are, this is the way I am, I can't change it. I cannot do anything about it because something has happened to me 40 years ago. Now, here's the thing. When someone's experienced trauma or been given too much responsibility too early, it can lead to a serious trust issue. You might end up thinking, I can't rely on anyone else to help me. And that drives a need for extreme self sufficiency. So you end up pushing away support because you have learned to believe that you are the only one who can make things happen. But the irony is, this kind of belief only locks you deeper into that victim role, even though you have the power to change things. It's like being stuck in this loop where you feel responsible for everything, yet powerless to do anything about it. And when it comes to trading, this mindset shows up in fear and hesitation. The victim mindset in trading often manifests as anxiety, avoidance, and even a reluctance to take responsibility. Cognitive behavioral therapy shows that when we blame external factors for our failures, we are more likely to experience anxiety and avoid taking action. In trading, this can look like hesitation or fear driven decisions. You might second guess yourself or question your judgment, or be more inclined to blame the market or maybe even other traders for your lack of success. But here's the thing, the more you do this, the less likely you are to trust yourself, and the harder it becomes to break free from the cycle. This mindset is so easy to slip into, especially when things aren't going your way. It feels like you are stuck in this endless loop where no matter what you do, something always gets in the way. There is always something that comes up that you have to take care of before you can finally focus on what you need to do to make your trading work. It's especially common when you are juggling trading with a 9 to 5 job. You tell yourself, once I go full time, I will finally have time to build my routine, analyze charts, and review my trades. Then things will be so much easier, and then I can finally be profitable. But then you go full time, and suddenly there is a new excuse. Maybe it's the kids making noise around the house, or the mountain of house chores keeping you distracted. Or now you are stressed because there is no steady paycheck coming in and you just cannot focus. Or maybe you keep putting off what you know you should be doing just to avoid facing the real issue. You end up finding something to blame. I need to backtest first, or I should watch these webinars first. It's just you stalling and coming up with excuses. The victim mindset isn't a fixed personality trait. So I also want you to know that it's a dynamic pattern that evolves over time. And it's often based on what's happening in your life right now. And the good news is it's not permanent. Psychological interventions like cognitive restructuring or even mindfulness practices can help you challenge and shift these deeply ingrained beliefs. It's all about becoming self-aware and recognizing when you are slipping into that victim role and then taking action to interrupt that pattern. Breaking out of the victim mindset often requires emotional processing too. So this could involve therapeutic work like somatic practices or trauma therapy, where you are not just thinking about things differently, but also addressing the emotional roots of this pattern. And by doing the internal work, you start taking responsibility for your actions in trading and in life, which ultimately leads to greater success and growth. So for me, the turning point came when I read The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. I highly recommend the book. Really interesting story in itself, but a lot of wisdom in there. In the book, he talks about the poor me role, which is a victim mindset where you constantly feel like life is happening to you and you end up manipulating people around you to play along with that narrative. And it hit me hard because I had been living in that mindset for so long, since I was young, without even realizing it. And suddenly I saw how I was creating struggles in my life and my relationships, trying to pull the people closest to me into this pattern. And I realized it wasn't just something I had with my parents that I got from when I was young. It was also showing up in my relationship years later. At first, I wasn't even fully aware of it, but then when I stepped back, I saw that I was actually trying to force my partner into this unwitting role in a play that I had subconsciously set up. I was trying to make him feel sorry for me as if I needed him to validate my struggles. And when that didn't work, because let's face it, he didn't grow up in the same dynamic and really wasn't willing to play along, I switched tactics. I started making him feel guilty as though he was responsible for my emotional state. And here's the thing, when we are in that victim mindset, it's not just about what happens to us, it's about trying to get others to confirm our victimhood. We want to be seen as the one who is suffering, the one who has been wronged, so that others feel sympathy or guilt on our behalf. In my case, I didn't realize I was doing this, but I was trying to manipulate my partner into feeling like he had to rescue me from my emotional struggles. The pattern works like this. You feel powerless, so you try to get others to acknowledge your pain in a way that reinforces that powerlessness. You want them to feel for you because it temporarily gives you a sense of control. But here's the problem. It doesn't actually solve anything. Instead, it keeps you stuck in that cycle of dependency where you are waiting for someone else to change the situation for you. And when they don't react the way you expect, it can make you feel more isolated and misunderstood, even though you are the one perpetuating the pattern. And it wasn't until I really became aware of this that I realized how much I was projecting my own emotional turmoil on other people. I had to face that fact that I was using these tactics to manipulate, not because I was consciously trying to hurt somebody, but because I was so entrenched in this victim role. And it was a tough realization, but it was also the moment that I began to shift my approach. First, by taking full responsibility for my emotions, for how I feel, and then by learning how to communicate more authentically. In A Celestine Prophecy, Redfield explains that those who are stuck in the poor me role feel powerless and constantly blame external factors for their struggle. How you feel and everything that happens in your life becomes someone else's fault, whether it's the market, other people, or life in general. So this mindset keeps them trapped, unable to see any opportunities for growth because they are so focused on the cycle of victimhood. But what if you could change the way you look at life? What if instead of seeing life as something happening to you, you start seeing it as happening for you? What if every challenge you face, every obstacle is actually an opportunity? Everything that is happening right now at this moment, you realize that this is exactly what needs to happen for you to grow and move further. Shifting to this mindset is the key to unlocking real progress, and not just in trading, but in life overall. This is where the real shift happens. Instead of saying, this always happens to me, we need to reframe the thought. Start telling yourself, what's happening here is an opportunity for me to grow. The key is to recognize that you have the power to choose how you respond. The moment you start seeing challenges as opportunities, you have already made a huge leap forward. When we take responsibility, it doesn't mean we are at fault for everything that goes wrong. It's not about blaming yourself, because that is actually the part of the pattern. It's about recognizing that you have control over your actions, your mindset, and how you choose to respond to any situation. Taking responsibility means reclaiming your power, stepping into proactive role instead of a reactive one, choosing your responses instead of being reactive. So what can you do right now? The next time you find yourself blaming the market, other people, or life for how things are going, or you start feeling sorry for yourself, catch that thought, challenge it. Ask yourself, what can I take responsibility for in this situation? How can I change my response to move forward? This is a practice, but every time you do it, you move further away from being a victim and closer to being the creator of your own outcomes. So the first step is awareness. Once you notice it, you can start to shift. Instead of focusing on what you cannot control, ask yourself, what can I control here? This is where the shift happens. What responsibility do I have in this situation? And the key is to stop reacting and start responding with intention. Remember, you have the power to choose how you handle things. You have the power to choose how you want to feel, regardless of the conditions. You don't always have the control over the conditions around you, but you have the power how you respond to them. That's how you break the cycle of feeling stuck. And remember, just because you feel stuck doesn't mean you are. And when you start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow, you really are stepping into a more empowered role. This is where the real transformation happens. The moment you take responsibility, you start making progress. It's not always easy, and it's not always comfortable because changing things does not feel comfortable. New does not feel familiar. And that's what makes us feel uncomfortable. But it is about choosing your response and taking action even when it feels tough. That's how you move forward and create real success. Remember, shifting from the victim mindset to taking responsibility is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight, but every single step that you take brings you closer to reclaiming your power. With each shift, you are building the foundation for your own success. So take it one step at a time. Don't be hard on yourself. If you are ready to break free from the victim mindset and start taking full responsibility for how you feel, for how you respond, for your decisions in your trading and for your results in your trading, I really encourage you to reflect on this today. Ask yourself, how can I take responsibility in this moment? This is your opportunity to take control. You are the creator of your own outcomes. So let's make this shift and start taking the action that leads to real transformation. And before we wrap up, I want to personally invite you to a special event. On Monday, Dr. Brett Steenbarger, trading psychologist, and I, Agnieszka Wood, will be hosting an exclusive 1-hour Ask Me Anything session. This is your chance to learn from two experienced coaches who have spent years helping traders overcome psychological barriers and achieve consistent success. So this is a free event, but space is limited, so don't wait. Go to my website, aheadcoach.com, and register. Remember, this is your chance to ask your burning questions, get insights on mindset, emotional resilience, and overcoming the challenges in your trading. And you will get two different perspectives from psychologists who works with professional traders and from myself as a trading mindset coach working with retail traders. Make sure you don't miss it. Go ahead to aheadcoach.com and secure your spot. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for listening to the Confidence in Trading podcast. If you are enjoying my show, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and tell me what you like about it. Thanks to you, more traders will be able to find me, and together we'll make a bigger impact. So thank you so much. If you are new to my show, don't forget to subscribe so you can come back for the next episode. And make sure to also check some of the previous shows. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Agnieszka Wood from Ahead Coach. Bye for now.